Artie Bagor, and let's talk about the nature and characteristics of the problem-based learning or PBL. PBL is an exciting alternative to traditional classroom. It is a student-centered approach. And in PBL, the learning here occurs in a small group of students. Like you have to group your students into 6 to 8 members per group, and each group has a specific rules. Then the teachers have to present not the lectures, not the assignment, not the exercises, but an authentic problem. The problem are the organizing focus and stimulus for learning. The problem becomes the vehicle for the development of clinical problem-solving skills of the students. So the problems here do not test skills, but rather it develops skills. It must promote communication, responsibility, shared learning, and problem-solving skills. The problem must be an open-ended problem, meaning there is no fixed formula. It has a dynamic process and multiple possible solutions. For the students to discover themselves their own learning objectives. Since the students are not handed content, the learning becomes active in the sense that they discover and determine the contents that are necessary to solve the problem. So the students here become self-directed, independent learners, and responsible for their own learning, for them to acquire new skills and information. So in PBL or in problem-based learning, the teacher acts as mentor, guide, facilitator rather than a source of solutions. So in assessing PBL, in assessing problem-based learning, it must be authentic, seamless, and a performance-based learning. So PBL is not all about problem solving, but rather it uses problems, appropriate problems to increase knowledge and understanding.
Good day everyone, I'm Janet Sibal, a Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Technology Livelihood Education, 4th year student. So on my topic, it's all about the content of problem-based learning. Problem-based learning is a teaching method in which real-world problem is a vehicle to promote student learning of concept and principles. Additionally to this content, PBL can promote the development of critical thinking, problem-solving activities, and communication skills. It can also provide opportunities for working in groups, finding and evaluating research material, and lifelong learning. That is according to Techoal et al. 2001. Problem-based learning, or the PBL, it is a student-centered approach in which the students learn about a subject by working in a group to solve an open-ended problem. This problem can drives the motivation and learning of the learners. That could be all. Thank you.
Hello, I am Manilin P. Malaki, and I'm discussing about the structure of problem-based learning, or PBL. One is clarify the problem. The purpose in clarifying the issue is to identify and gain a clear understanding of which component of focus area in the problem. Second is analyze the problem. Identify the core problem. Investigate a situation problem in order to understand more fully the problem in order to recommend practical solution for solving it. And the third is brainstorming. People are able to think more freely, and they suggest as many as spontaneous new ideas as possible. And the fourth is formulate learning objectives. Identify the nouns or things you want student to learn. Identify the level of knowledge you want. Select a verb that is observable to describe behavior and appropriate level of learning. Add additional criteria to indicate how or when the outcome will observable to add context for the student. And the number 5 is individual studies. It is another term of self-studies, where students are prepared to study on their own while referring to the books and online videos. And second to the last is group shares result. Small group collaboration is one of the example, helping each other in a group by sharing ideas to get a good result or perfect result. And the last but not the least, identify areas for improvement. Increasing motivational activity indicate by the time discipline. This confirm that problem-based learning improve the students' soft skills and hard skills reflected in positive and effective group activities. And that's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Melty Malaki. This will be my topic for today, the teacher's role in PBL. PBL means is project-based learning. So, a teacher is one of the sources in school participation. They should lead for whatsoever doing in the school classes. Therefore, teacher must be topic selection, facilitator, provide expertise in specialized resources, helping children with difficulties they are likely encounter, advisor, modeling inquiring disposition, provide support, empathy, and inspiration, generate classroom activities for place of understanding students, feel safe to experiment and free from strict time constraints. So, that will be the role of a teacher in PBL in classroom. For me, in short, is the teacher is a flexible learning facilitator. That's it po. Thank you.
So, these are the combination of role of the teacher and learner in a PBL classroom. I'll be the one to discuss the learner or student's role in a problem-based learning. What are they? Work in small collaborative groups in a problem-based learning model. Self-monitors groups, find sources, conduct research, hold each other responsible for learning and the completion of tasks throughout, ask thought-provoking questions, to ask for assistance, be motivated and
Hi, my name is Maria Michnahul, the continuation of Margarita's Cadiz, about identify student requirement in a problem-based learning classroom. Let's talk about considerations for using problem-based learning in classroom. Rather than teaching relevant material and subsequently having students apply the knowledge to solve the problem, the problem is represented first. PBL assignments can be short or they can be more involved and take a whole semester. PBL is often group-oriented, so it is beneficial to set aside classroom time to prepare students to work in groups and to allow them to engage in their PBL project. The students generally must examine and define the problem, explore what they already know about underlying issues related to it, determine what they need to learn and where they can acquire the information and tools necessary to solve the problem. Then evaluate possible ways to solve the problem, and then we need to solve again the problem and then report on their findings. Next is getting started with problem-based learning. First is articulate the learning outcomes of the project. What do you want students to know or be able to do as a result of participating in the assignment? Second is create the problem. Ideally, this will be a real-world situation that resembles something students may encounter in their future careers or lives. Cases are often the basis of PBL activities. Next is establish ground rules to the beginning to prepare students to work effectively in groups. Next is introduce students to group processes and do some warm-up exercises to allow them to practice assessing both their own work and that of their peers. Number 5 is consider having students take on different roles or divide up the work up amongst themselves. Alternatively, the project might require students to assume various perspectives such as those of government officials, local business owners, and etc. And the last is establish how you will evaluate and assess the assignment. Consider making the self and peer assessment a part of the assignment grade. That's all, and thank you.
So hello guys, by the way, my name is Michael Pontanilla,
And I am Ismail B. Debeng.
and our topic for today is examine PBL in the current K-12 curriculum in different level. So PBL, problem-based learning. Problem-based learning is a student-centered approach in which students learn about a subject by working in groups to solve an open-ended problem. This problem is what drives the motivation and the learning. A well-designed PBL or problem-based learning project provides students with the opportunity to develop skills related to the following: working in teams, managing projects and holding leadership roles, oral and written communication, self-awareness and evaluation of group processes, working independently, critical thinking and analysis, explaining concepts, self-directed learning, applying course content to real-world example, researching and information literacy and problem across discipline. So,
And also, problem-based learning or the PBL is a teaching style that pushes students to become the drivers of their learning education. Problem-based learning uses complex real-world issues as the classroom subject matter. Encouraging students to develop problem-solving skills and learn concept instead of just observing facts. This can take shape in variety of different ways. For example, a problem-based learning project could involve students pitching ideas and creating their own business plans to solve societal need. Students could work independently or in a group to conceptualize, design, and launch their innovative products in front of classmates and community leaders. That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lorna Alabar, a BSFTLE4 student. Today, I'm going to talk about how to compare problem-based learning classroom in traditional lecture-based classroom in the Philippines basic education. Problem-based learning, or PBL, classroom is widely used in courses that needs great engagement in the process of learning. PBL is a type of learning that aims to get the students involved in the process of making, presenting, and evaluating, which may help boost up their critical and logical approach in learning. On the other hand, traditional-based learning classroom refers to the traditional classroom setting, which is more on listening to the verbal discussion or presentation of the speaker or professors. It aims let the student learn through memorization, writing, and formulating papers. Unlike PBL, it lacks actual activity interactions.
Good afternoon. This is the continuation of the first speaker. In the Philippines, various courses such as medical courses, engineering, and laboratory courses need to have problem-based learning strategies. For these courses highly require skill and knowledge on the chosen field. PBL is so expensive to be regulated in all levels. That's why traditional basis learning classrooms is still widely used in the Philippines but with some adjustment. Thank you.